Well, hello and welcome to the Bowtie Gardens. We are out here on a mostly beautiful February 27th. Coming down to the end of February, we're looking at the outer beds. We're standing here beside the bee box. In fact, you might have seen the video that just came out either yesterday or day before of this bee box with the front just covered with bees. And this is February, folks. We have had unusually warm weather and it's been nice. And so I'm working projects as fast as I can, as well as trying to do my other jobs that I'm supposed to be doing. And some days it doesn't look as productive as I wish it would. But there you go. So yeah, this is my personal log of the progress in the garden, things that are happening, the things that are growing, experiments that are going on, and just what I'm doing, because my brain doesn't remember. And so with these videos, I can go back and remember what I did. But I picked YouTube because maybe someone else will figure out something based on what they've done as well. And we can learn together maybe. And it's kind of interesting. I literally just got done watching Gardner Scott's Monday morning live cast, and he had Enoch from the Urban Garden channel interviewing, and it was a good show. I was very excited because I started on a 14-foot patio with a bunch of grow bags, and that's where he's coming from. And so I heard another one recently where someone asked, do you think we're in a golden age of gardening? And I had to shout at the screen, well, yes, of course. We have so many resources, people that are sharing their experiences, what they're learning so prolifically that it's hard not to learn to be a gardener. There is so much to learn. And here's the interesting thing. People are realizing something about all these gardening shows. You know, and I've said this in the previous video, I share something and I share it with my personality. Someone else shares it with their personality. And certain people are gonna like person A, certain people are gonna like person B, some people are gonna like person C that is sharing the exact same thing. And then there's all these subgroups of that it's very easy to find someone that can talk to you. And if I don't talk to you, that's fine, because my personality, I'm weird, okay? I know I'm a little bit weird. My personality is such that some people don't like me, and that's fine, but they can go somewhere else and find someone else that they do like and still learn. So you can't use that as an excuse to not learn to do the things you want to do. And the thing I want to do is garden and grow stuff and feed Mrs. Bowtie and myself and learn about how I can do this better and build better gardens and do better things. So for me, it's all very exciting, and I encourage you to look around, find the things that you want to learn, experiment, figure things out. It's a continually learning process. And so I catch Gardner Scott's live streams when I can. Unfortunately, I can't get to all of them, but I know I feel so pumped up after watching one, because just everybody sharing in the chat that's going on and everybody talking. Oh, it's very cool. And I get excited for everything going on out here. But yeah, so this is part 2 of my February garden tours. We are talking the outer beds in the backyard. We'll talk about the raised beds in the next part. I do this in the exact same order every single time. And again, that is so I can find this information when I need it. There are things that I talk about through here that I'm doing something, or I'm in the store, or something's happening and I need to remember, what exactly did I do? Well, here it is right here in video format for me, and it's on YouTube, so I can find it anywhere and refer to it. You'll notice there's a lot of indexing in the description below, and that is so that I can find stuff. And in turn, you can find stuff if you want to. So feel free to peruse the videos and learn any little tidbits that you can. I watch lots of YouTube myself, and I'm always on the lookout for just that next little bit of information, and I never go a day without finding new information on someone's video. It's every single day. It's not an occasional thing, it's every single day. And sometimes I'll watch a video and not learn anything new, and then I go on to the next video and maybe even this exact same person, and I'm just learning things left and right because, oh, I didn't know that. I was sitting in chat and someone said something, I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but I was like, oh yeah, they were talking about baking eggshells. And I thought, oh, that would seem like it would use a lot of energy. And she says, well, I bake my eggshells when I've already got something in the oven. I'm thinking, brilliant. I would have never thought of that. Oh my goodness, that's brilliant. And so you already have the oven on, stick a tray of eggshells in there, bake them. And then you can use them for fertilizer in the garden and go through the process. I'm gonna have to try that based on that conversation. So, you know, there's something. Always be seeking, whether it's gardening or just some other interest. It's so easy now to be seeking information and just opening yourself up to possibilities. So anyway, with no further ado, you can see back here behind me, we have the blueberry patch. And again, the blueberry patch is busy with bees. They are buzzing around, they are going crazy. They love these buds, and the buds are falling off just as fast as they pollinate them, and they're starting their development. It won't be long, and we're going to be picking a whole lot more blueberries this year. I'm very excited. It's neat seeing them bees down here. They're just a couple hundred out on the front porch, but yesterday that whole box was covered on the front. If you haven't seen the video, it's a real short video. I'll link it up here in the cards so you can click to it if you want to. I'll also link it in the description, and maybe depending on how this goes, I might link it at the end. But anyway, so the blueberries, which is kind of where I ended on in the front and side garden, are doing wonderful. I'm just very excited. We didn't have the bees last year. We did have bees, but we didn't have the bee box. And so I'm hoping we get even better pollination this year. I really am. So we'll have to see how that goes. Anyway, let's get on with this. Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave. So down here amongst the blueberries, and we still have bamboos sitting here from the trellis in the raised bed, we have our bag of peppermint and a lizard, and a surprise Thai plant. I don't know if my Thai plants are going to come back or not. They are slow to come up, so I'm going to give this all the chance in the world. Originally I was wanting to plant an odd number, 5 Thai plants in the front pollinator garden, and you see from the first part of this tour this month, I had 4, and I planted them with 4 in mind. Well, if this thing comes up, I'm going to transplant this and move 1 or 2 of those others so I can get an odd number in there. And if not, one day I might just propagate something in there. So, and of course the bees right next to the blueberries, they're happy bees. They're busy. They're buzzing all around me, in fact. Coming around here, we've got 3 bags of old jalapenos, fatali. There's a few things that have been in these bags, mostly peppers, orange bell pepper. These are good bags to be used for other stuff, and they will be recycled soon. They have chocolate mint here, and the chocolate mint is just coming out prolifically this year. It is very exciting because we're going to have a lot more this year. I'm going to make even more grow bags, and this of course helps with controlling rodents and squirrels in the garden. Doesn't mean they won't come in the garden, they just don't come in as much. I very seldom see them actually anywhere near the places I have the mint, and just notice how many times you see mint. It's a lot. It's a lot. So anyway, we're gonna be restoring our paths over here. You saw the fig in the front yard, which used to be the big fig tree, but and now those leaves are kind of deformed or eaten, but these are beautiful. In fact, I wanted to show you this leaf right here. It is enormous. It's a couple times bigger than my hand. Wow. And it looks perfect. I mean, just absolutely perfect. And this other fig tree, its partner, I'm going to be trimming up some of the stuff around the base here because I want this thing to grow more upwards. But another big, huge fig leaf right here. Very cool. Not quite as big as the other one, but this thing is coming out this year. It is doing its thing. So, another couple of bags that used to hold peppers. That was actually my Fatale pepper. Kind of sad that I don't have it anymore, but we have more growing. That's exciting. So that's a lemon tree over there and an elephant ear, which will be propagating up. That bench is going to actually be moved right down to below the camera right here. And this last year was, of course, the melon patch. And this year it's going to be the arch garden. This, of course, is where the Loquat hedge is going to be. We do have a lemon tree here, and I'm still not seeing any green on these lemons. I've been talking to people, and there's a lot of discouragement going on right now. So what I've been doing, you've seen my past videos, you'll see I scratch this stem a little bit. There is no green in there. Uh-oh. That's discouraging. There is no, oh, okay. I do see a little, possibly a twinge of green in there. Oh my goodness, no, I don't think so. I see a split in the bark right there. This may not bode well. The Christmas freeze may have taken my lemons because none of them are looking very good. Of course, we still have our wood pile from removing the monster tree, which is very exciting. It's going to change the whole garden this year. The pomegranates, this one is coming out, is one of the later ones to come out. And all the other pomegranates, in fact, I forgot to show you the blueberry arbor up here. And look at those pomegranates. That pomegranate tree right there has 4 flowers on it already. It was one of the first ones to come out with green. It is going to be a producer this year. And all the others, there's 4 of them. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yes, 4 of them over there. Going to be doing exciting stuff with those pomegranates, hopefully. Come back around. Okay, so we got this pomegranate, but this is just a privet hedge or a ligustrum. And past the kinetic art, a couple of big logs still left here. This is exciting. You might have seen the video on when this got planted out. This is our jasmine bush, and I just noticed this morning, if you look closely, we have our first flowers. So the jasmine is going to flower this year, and there's actually a lot of flowers on it, just tons and tons and tons of them everywhere. So eventually I would like to train this thing to grow up this tree and do something good. So, yep, there's the wood pile, the big wood pile from the big tree. And now this orange tree, it's a Satsuma orange. Parts of it are growing good. The south side of it is growing good, very strong. I haven't had strong production, but I haven't been feeding any of my citrus trees really well since we moved here about 1.5 years ago, a little less than 1.5 years ago. So I've done that now. I'm starting to get on regular routine on feeding these things, and hopefully we'll be doing better in the near future. But I did notice, in fact, look over here. It's spring. This too has got buds on it. So first, oh, well, it did have a bud. Wonder if that got pollinated already. So look, you can see the buds up here have already fallen off. And so it normally means that they have been pollinated and they are starting to grow the orange. So maybe that's what it's going to be. Crossing my fingers. We have had a lot of bees around here. Of course, the Egyptian walking onion patch is growing strong. Everything is a little weedy because, well, it's that time of year. I'm working my way through the garden now. Looking back here, I have not looked at this yet. This is the lemon tree I was hoping would be growing something, and I thought I saw new growth, and now I realize I have a vine growing in here, and that has got to get cleaned out immediately. That cannot be allowed to, oh, it's not even coming from the pot. It's coming from way over here. Look at this. It's growing in here from outside of the pot. There we go. And now we can see this lemon may be dead. Yeah, sometimes you got to take a closer look. This is the very back corner of the property, and I don't get back here very often. There's another lemon tree there, a couple more in that crushed pot right down there. Nothing looks promising. Pomegranates are looking good though. Lemons, not looking good. The rosemary down here, it's growing strong. I could come in here and trim that back some, give that a new life. It's not a young rosemary plant, but they can grow a lot bigger. So the decorative grasses here and over there could use some trimming. They're not looking so great. Another 2 more pomegranate trees. Now these I haven't trimmed up the stems from yet. It should look more like a tree, not like a shrub with a bunch of stems. And so I'm working on those slowly. Coming down to another, I think this one is another peppermint. Bucket of aloe, and I actually had to cut out several aloe yesterday. A lot of dead in there from the Christmas freeze. Come down to this lemon tree. Actually, there's 2 lemon trees. The one in the pot right here. You can see there's a lot of green stuff growing in there. That's got to go. And the other bigger and older lemon tree. But again, nothing green on it yet. I'm hoping it's just a slow returner. Just slow to start growing. So I mentioned the Loquat hedge a few minutes ago. Here are those Loquats. And I have not up-potted them, but they're going to get up-potted soon. Hopefully before the next video tour they will be up-potted. But they are looking good. They're all growing strong, very strong. So this was my favorite aloe patch. And yeah, it's looking a little rough. Oh, look at the dandelion growing up behind it. I'm looking for some good dandelion root. I want to make dandelion root tea. That's a big one. That's the biggest one I've seen. Leave it to my yard. I've been hunting in other people's yards. So there's really not a lot left. I do want to show, okay, so I've showed the compost before, and this is the compost I'm working on now. I've got leaves in there. I've got, in fact, on top you can see I've chopped up a whole bunch of the aloe, just chopped it with a shovel. I've got kitchen scraps buried inside there, and when I keep this a fork here, so that when I bring out our scrap bucket, I do a hole, pull it back, and dump it in. And I can do about 6 or 9 holes in the top before I've got more stuff to put on top of it. But this thing has been mounding over the top. It's been as much as a foot over the top. And I started this in, I want to say October or November. I actually mentioned it on one of the video tours, which is, again, why I do these video tours. I'll be able to find the exact age of this compost. That over there is wood chips from the wood chip pile. I saved a couple of yards of it in there, and that's breaking down, which means the bottom of this is really looking good. However, this is the magic stuff. This was the compost I started in 2021, and I've been collecting. I collected all the way through 21 and 22, and I just wanted to show you what this is made up of. In fact, there's a lot of worm castings in there. There's a lot of everything. Now this was kitchen scraps, grass clippings, pulled weeds, leaves. There's even live oak leaves in this stuff. But every bit of it is this fine compost that's all completely processed by worms and all the other small critters that live in here. And it's kind of the magic of compost, because I had about a yard of compost that I've been supplementing my beds. In fact, in the next part, you'll see, oh, it smells so good too. There's rich soil. In the next part where we do the raised beds, you'll see where I've already started amending the raised beds with this stuff. And this should be enough to amend the 3 raised beds and probably a couple of the other beds that I want to supplement for better growth this next year. So very exciting to have this much just good quality compost. And we do have an experiment coming out based on the 18-day compost by Billy over at Permapastures Farms and Permapastures Farm, and Frank Lawton. Had to think about it there. Frank Lawton is the fellow they learned under, and they do this 18-day compost. And we got this horse bedding compost that we're trying to make into this stuff a lot faster. This took a whole year because, see, beginning of last year, I stopped adding to this sometime in the middle of the summer. I've got to go back and look at the videos to figure out when I stopped adding to this and started adding to this. That's why I keep my videos. So before I close out this video, I just want to show you a real quick look at what the pomegranate bud looks like. And see, there's a flower in the end, and eventually the flower part will all fall out, and this part right here is the part that starts to swell up with the arils, the little sacs that contain the seeds in the pomegranate. And this is the thing that's going to blow up like a balloon and become the fruit of the pomegranate. In fact, you can see these little pointed wings right here. That's the base of the pomegranate. When you look at it, that's what it grows from. It blows up like a balloon. That's the best way to explain it. So that's kind of a whirlwind around the outer beds. Not a whole lot really going on. The biggest thing right now is the compost. What I will be doing is I'm going to be, after this is empty, which is going to be here this week, after this is empty, I will be shoveling all of this and the bottom half, at least, of this bin of wood chips into there. So it's going to have its first flip. This pile does not get flipped as often as our 18-day experiment that's going to be coming out later. Keep an eye on the videos. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the results of that experiment. I'm a little excited because I've seen this stuff done before, but I've never done it myself. So I went to great lengths to get everything I needed to be able to do this, and yeah, I'm excited. So, to say the least. But yeah, if you're just stumbling along here, finding our channel, please subscribe. Every subscription helps to grow the channel. And if you've already subscribed and are returning, thank you so much for watching the video. Every watch helps. And be sure to click the thumbs up on this video if you thought it was informational, educational, or just entertaining. And share on your social media with friends that you might have on Facebook or elsewhere that you feel might find this of interest for some reason. As you can see here, there's been work going on in the raised garden beds, and that's not for this video. You got to stay tuned for the next video. It's supposed to come out 2 days after this video comes out. It takes me a few days to edit these videos, so I can't get them out right away. There's uploading and downloading and editing and rendering and all kinds of stuff that happens. So bear with me as I try to get these out every month. This is the bottleneck where I do these 3 videos. Well, most of the time it's 3. Occasionally I make the mistake and try to make it 1 or 2 videos. I don't want to do that mistake anymore. But I got to edit these videos and put them together and all, and then I get them uploaded as fast as I can, of course. But it does take time, and it's just me. There's nobody here helping me. Mrs. Bowtie helps with the camera on occasion, but that's it. So you got us. It's just my personal journal, folks. It's nothing fancy. So all that being said, stay tuned for part 3 where we talk about the raised garden beds and what's going on in there. There's actually some stuff growing in there. A little bit exciting. Well, you'll have to watch the next one, but peppers, Brussels sprouts, and garlic going crazy. So, and oh, goji berries. I think we're gonna get goji berries soon. That would be kind of cool, especially after the freeze. Never mind. Moving along. So putting that into the next part, and you can watch the next video. If it's already come out when you see this, there will be a link at the end of the video. There will also be a link in the description, possibly. The playlist for all the garden tours is available as well on our channel, so you can see everything. So I guess that's it for the outer bed garden tour. I think this might come out a little shorter, and of course, every time I say that, it comes out a lot longer. So I gotta learn to shut up about that, don't I? Yeah, so have a blessed day.